All right, so now we've made it to how to spot media bias. Key things to look for. Now, these are the 13 topics that we're going to go through, and we are going to start with spinning. Spinning is a vague, dramatic, or sensational language. When journalism put a spin on a story, which they do all the time, they push it away from the objective, measurable facts. Now, I want you to remember this keyword right here, objective, measurable facts. That is very important because facts are important when telling a story. You know, when something happens, like say to one of your family members, and it's something not good, like maybe they got into an accident or something. You don't want to hear from somebody telling you, why they got into an accident. You want to know how they got into an accident and how they're doing. You want to know the facts, the objectable, measurable facts. You want to know if you need to go to the hospital or if you need to do something for your family member. You don't need to know a whole big speculation. Well, I think this, semi came out of nowhere and he was probably on methamphetamines and, he smacked into her and I don't know, blah, blah, blah. And just, you don't need to hear the how. You need to know the why. Why is it happening? The objectable, measurable facts. Now, spin is a form of media bias that clouds a reader's view. It's preventing them from getting a precise take on what happened. Now, in the early 20th century, public relations and advertising executives were referred to as spin doctors, which they still are today. They would use vague language and make unsupportable claims in order to promote a product, service, or idea, downplaying any alternative views. We haven't seen that, have we, in local media at all in 2020? But yeah, that was sarcasm, folks. In order to make a sell, increasingly these tactics are appearing in journalism. Yes, they are major, big time. So here's a couple spin words that you can, note to memory, or just like I said, go download the book and you'll have them here. When you see these are pretty big words. Emerge, refuse, high stakes, major, critical. These are the words that the big media use. You see here like the triad, serious, crucial. I mean, they try to use these words to persuade you, and they work a lot of times. People don't really take a step back and look at the words that they're reading. They just read them, and by reading these, it's critical. And it offends and landmark and high stakes. It's monumental. It extenuates the circumstance of what's going on of the objective fact. Now, sometimes the media uses spin words and phrases to imply bad behavior. No, they don't, do they? Yeah, they do. These words are often used without providing hard facts, direct quotes, or witness behavior. So let's get this straight real quick. For anything to be true, there has to be facts. There has to be a direct quote or a full quote. Somebody says something. Or there has to be witness behavior, a testimony. All right. And it has to be, in video, audio, or it has to be a written testimony that somebody has signed and swore off on. So here's some words used in that case. Final, acknowledge, refusing to say, dodge, came to light, surface, emerge, condensed, admission, admit to. Now, I'm putting these words here. Actually, I got these words from a different place, but you can go online and to a thesaurus, and you can put this word into a thesaurus and find all of its different variations. They use different variations of these types of words as well. These are just a few that you need to be aware of. And to stir emotions, reports often include color, dramatic, or sensational words as substitute for words said. For example, mocked, raged, bragged, fumed, lashed out, raged, incensed, scoffed, gaffed, frustration, your opinion, a rant. We hear rant a lot. Boasted, gloated. These are words that they try to trigger you with. Now, we can see down here in this example of spin media bias from the Business Insider, where it says, President Donald Trump gloated over mass layoffs at multiple news outlets on Saturday, tweeting that many others will follow and attributing the loss to fake news. Now, first of all right, let's look at this for a minute. You might be pissed by reading this at first, but if you take a look at it, first of all, what is the what? Many others will follow in attributing the loss to fake news. Now, first of all, we don't know if that is the full version of the actual quote, because the full quote, the full tweet should be presented. But they're saying, they're saying he gloated how do you gloat on a tweet? I understand there's certain voice and tones that we can comprehend, but nobody knows for certain that he was gloating. This is an opinion. President Donald Trump gloated. When you say somebody else does something, you are giving your opinion on what they are doing. So this is an interjected opinion, and they state what the opinion was over as well. They don't know if he was saying that. Many others will follow and attributing the loss to fake news. He could have just been saying, like, damn, many others will follow and attributing the loss to fake news. That's why they're all losing their jobs. That could have been why. I mean, there's a bunch of different ways to perceive that. And they go right off the bat and say, oh, he gloated over the layoffs of multiple media news outlets. What's a funny story about these news outlets? See, if you go do a little research, you'll find that there is an act that Obama put out called the Countering Propaganda and Information Act. Now, this Information Act actually took taxpayer money and gave it to media outlets to supposedly aggregate propaganda. And that's what it was for. From 2016 to 2018, $611 billion of taxpayer monies was sent out to about 30 media companies, including the Huffington Post, to aggregate content. So you can go look at them and see whatever they created from 2016 to 2018, and you can see that there's millions of pages that all 30 of these companies had written to counter propaganda and information. And that bill was put through, and they're finding some leaks in that right now. And basically, they put out millions of pages of information to, be disingenuous toward the other political party. In retrospect, we paid for it. We paid all these news aggregates to come up with stories about Trump and about, all these other things that didn't align with their ideology. And this is true. This is fact. This actually happened. This is a bill that got shut down in 2018, and that is why people lost their jobs, because Congress stopped that bill from going through. Now, you got to know that bill was put through during the Obama era, had nothing to do with Trump, but still, he tweeted this, and these people are presuming to know what he is doing. All right, they are assuming that he gloated over mass layoffs. I don't see anywhere in here that says, ha, others will follow. And attributing loss to fake news, suck it. No, I don't see nothing like that. It says many others will follow in attributing the loss to fake news. So they're assuming he gloated. So I've digressed on that point a little too long. You see here that gloat means to contemplate or dwell on one's own success or others' misfortune. I don't see him contemplating others' misfortune through this quote. Now, you might perceive it that way, but there's many other ways to perceive it. And unless you have the full context and the facts, then you can't go saying that somebody did something just to say that they did it, unless you're trying to do that. So in retrospect, they're gloating about his misfortune. They're trying to slander him with smugness or malignant pressure. Is there evidence in Trump's tweet to show he is being smug or taking pleasure in layoffs? Or is this a subjective interpretation? Well, we've already talked about it. It's a subjective interpretation. Now, here's another one. The Washington Post. As he jetted to Paris last Friday, President Trump received congratulatory phone call, blah, 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 blah. Talks about how he received this phone call. Never mind that. Democrat seized control of the House. Let's see, let's read this. British Prime Minister Theresa May was calling to celebrate the Republican Party's win in the midterm elections. He said, she said. Never mind that Democrats seized control of the House, but her appeal to the American president's vanity was met with honorary outburst. So basically they're saying Trump yelled at her. And then Trump berated May from Britain not doing enough. In his assessment to contain Iran, he questioned her over Brexit and complained about the trade deals to see unfair European countries. May has endured Trump's churlish temper before, but still her aides were shaken by his especially foul mood. Well, okay, there's a lot of things being said about this man here. Like, people are shaken, that means they're scared or they're upset, and Trump's temper, which I don't see any evidence to support the added temper in any of that by stating, hey, you guys need to do more in Britain. Where's the conversation? Where is the facts that support everything that they're saying? Now let's read this. In this example of spin media bias, the Washington Post uses a variety of dramatic, sensationalist words to spin the story to make Trump appear emotionally unhinged. They also refer to the president's vanity without providing supporting evidence. So you can go see this here if you click the link, the Washington Post. So in the next section, we're going to talk about unsubstantiated claims. But just know, it's important to look for these keywords that they're putting in there. When people are assuming what somebody else is doing via words in a post or a news article, there's got to be facts to back that up. Now, if this was actually going on, there would be facts. Like Trump walked in and smacked her in the face and yelled at her and said she was this and that. Where's the context? All we got him saying here is that Britain's not doing enough. That's what he said. All right. He berated May for not doing enough. Actually, he didn't even say that. They are saying Trump berated May for Britain not doing enough. We don't see anything that man has said in here at all. Where are his quotes? Where's the proof? Where's the fact? Where's the transcript? That's what you need to be asking yourself. So in the next section, like I said, we're going to start with unsubstantiated claims, and we will move forward. I'll see you in the next one. And don't forget to hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Let's have some fun, and let me give you some value and some knowledge to understand how to derail the fake news coming at you. So we'll talk to you later. Don't forget to hit that like button. We'll see you in the next one.